All right, shalom to the hopeful elect. First of all, I give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah, Kodash, and double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who teach us the truth and rule well, and peace, love, and salutation and blessing unto the hopeful elect. I'm the brother Ramak Kimyan from Great Millstone, Miami, and for the topic of this lesson, I want to go into confronting and rising over the flesh and or demons. Shit, the flesh and demons. Because that's a part of this walk. You're gonna have to confront and rise over your flesh and demons. And you see how I separated that? You have the flesh, you have the natural just way of this that this flesh is. The things that it's subject to, subject to sin, it's subject to this, the flesh, that every man deals with. And then you have demons, you know, that plays on your flesh. Demons that come and attack you. Spirits, spiritual attacks, you know, evil thoughts or evil things that try to come and attack you. Whether it could be doubt, it could be a youthful lust, it could be laziness, or whatever it is. We have to confront it and rise over it, because really, hey, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shai, Shai, you are bigger than that. If you are in Yahweh Shai. I remember watching this is a while ago. Shit, this is years ago. Apostle Hart said, you did a lesson, man, you bigger than your demons. Demons are spirits. And you're a spirit, you know? Demon ain't bigger than you if you in Yahweh Shai, you know? And you may see this picture that I have up on the screen. I asked ChatGPT to actually make this picture. I gave it some prompts and to do this and to do that and make it look like this and make it look like that, you know, because sometimes in this flesh, sometimes in this life, sometimes in this fight, it look like something may be bigger than what it is. It's there, and it could be affecting you. It could be something that the Lord, at the point that you're at, He wants you to get better, and He wants you to drop that shit to have control over it. Because again, it could be certain things. It could be flesh. It could be demons. It could be certain things holding you back. It could be certain things that you need to moderate. It may be certain things that you need to completely cut off. But either way, you need to have control. And through your Yahweh Shem Shai, you can rise over it and be transformed even into a better you. You know? But it takes confronting it. You know? It takes acknowledging it. You know? And that's part of growth. If you played, a video game. Let's go back in the day for brothers may know about Mortal Kombat back in the day. I ain't talking about the new Mortal Kombat. I'm talking about Mortal Kombat on what that was, Nintendo 64. And brothers could name a gaming station system before that one. Sega Genesis. I don't know if it was on Sega Genesis, but I remember having that mug on Nintendo 64. And once you go from level to level to level, and it seems like you get to a level, and it seems so hard, you know, and you got to keep trying this level over and over and over again, and be like, damn, you know, but you keep fighting it, and next thing you know, you done beat that level, and now you on to the next, and you can start over, and when you go back to that level again, man, it's easier. And that's how this truth is. It be certain things that you battle in the flesh, that you battle in your mind, different spirits, different demons that come at you. And as you grow, you see, you be like, man, shit, that shit couldn't even affect you now because you done grew. But this is something that continuously has to happen as we making ourselves, well, not making ourselves, as Yahweh, through His Son Yahweh Shai, is making us more perfect like themselves. It's a continuous progression. It's a continuous going from glory to glory. Now I want to get this precept. It's Romans 6:19. It says, I speak after the manner of men, because of the infirmity of your flesh. It's just human nature, you know. For as you have yielded your members servants to uncleanness and to iniquity unto iniquity, even so now yield your members servants to righteousness unto holiness. And that's what we are called to do in this truth. We're not called to yield to our flesh all the time. We're not called to yield to whatever demons want to throw at us. We called to righteousness. We are called to be strong and courageous in Yahweh Shem Yahushua. That's a commandment. You know, we are called to peace and love and sound mind. We are called to the fruits of righteousness, the fruits of the spirit. You know, so not only just blatant sins, of course, don't commit adultery, you don't eat pork and stuff like that, of course. But you're not called to doubt. Don't yield to doubt. No, don't yield to laziness. Don't allow that. And if that's a issue, then that's what it is. It's an issue. Don't mean that you're gonna be destroyed. It don't mean that that's the end all be all. That's when you get to work. That's when you lift up more prayers. That's when you confront it. Because all it is something that's common to man, whether it be doubt, a laziness, or a straight up demonic attack. Now that happens, because as you grow in this truth and you get to a level, all right, the Lord allows Satan, all right, send a blitz. you know, you got to handle it because Yahweh Shai is in you, ain't it? You got to learn how to confront it and know how to act, you know, and be built up by it, because that's exactly what it's there for. That is what we're here for, you know, being sealed with this word and this faith. And until Yahweh shall come, we gotta keep growing. You know, you gotta keep growing. You gotta keep rising above these things, man. Again, doubt, laziness. It could be a youthful lust. It could be lust. You know, it could be something that not even that is against the law. It don't have to be unlawful for Satan to use it against you. you know, it don't have to be unlawful for it to be a demon that you're dealing with, because it could be something that's hindering you. You know, you. It might not hinder another brother. You. It's a beam in your eye. You know. So I want to get this. Um, Here's the book of Matthew chapter 5, verse 30. It says, "And if thy right hand offend thee, cut it off and cast it from thee. For it is profitable for thee that one of thy members should perish, and not that the whole body should be cast into hell." You got to, through the spirit, through prayer, you got to make choices and decisions. Because shit, you got to advance. And the Lord requires that. You're not going to be, okay, I'm good now. Shit, I could stay at this level till the Lord comes, and I'm just going to stay at this level. I'm good. I ain't got to do nothing else. Bro, nah, that's not how it works. Because shit, man, we are in the sinful flesh. We battle. Satan is coming at you all the time if you're in the truth. Satan wishes to sift you. You got to continuously grow. We being we being conformed to the image of Yahweh Shai. How could you be like, I'm good now? You got to continuously grow. You know, and the Lord gonna deal with you. He gonna chasten you. He gonna allow you to go through things because He wants to purge you. The Lord want to get things out of you or build things up in you. You know, sometimes the Lord wants you to moderate something, or just, sometimes He just wants you to chill off some shit for a while because you need to lock in on this. And then with more maturity and more growth and more strength and more faith, all right, cool. All right. Because if it's not unlawful, of course, if it's not hindering you. But sometimes the Lord wants you to get to a level and He ain't playing with you. So wanting us to get to a level, He gonna allow you to go through these bouts. Well, it look like, hey, it may look like it's a big issue, but nothing is too big for Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. You know, maybe some thoughts, some demonic shit, you know. You go through it in this truth, man. Hey, if you're a real brother, real sister, you gonna go through these things, man. I ain't even gotta break it all the way down, whatever it may be, you know. Well, boy, you gotta really pray. You gotta really fight, and in order to really get to that next level, you gotta examine yourself. You gotta really be serious about, look, man, I gotta be better for Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. I gotta be better. I got to. That's fear of the Lord. That's reverence for Him. That's wanting to please Him. You know, that's loving the Lord and loving yourself. Cause you gotta love yourself in this thing. And shit, if Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai with you, you over this shit, man. You bigger than this shit. You know. And here's how you do it. Um. Here's the book of James, St. James chapter 4, verse 7. It says, submit yourselves therefore to the Most High. Resist the devil, and he will flee from thee. Right. So you submit yourself unto Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. Sometimes the Lord is telling you something. You know? You gotta be able to hear it. You gotta be able to look in the mirror, examine yourself whether you be in the faith. Because if you're in the faith, you continuously growing. If you're in the faith, that means, Lord willing, you are the elect, you are the hopeful elect, which is the house of David. The house of David wax stronger, not weaker. Sometimes you may feel weak, and that's when you gotta, you submit yourself to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. You pray, you do things that you need to do. You either fast, or you get into them scriptures more, or you do some trimming. The preacher in Dallas is going to that a lot, man. Trimming, you gotta trim. You gotta cut some things off. You gotta, spiritually groom yourself, man. Tighten up, you know. Moderate some shit, be more moderate, or some shit you just cut off, or you cut off for now until the Lord, you got to get to work in this truth, man, on yourself. And when you yield yourself to Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, these words, you watch these lessons, and you hear the counsel that's around you from these wise men, from your brothers, and what you do, you take what you can from it and apply it to yourself. You don't shun it, you know. And what works exactly for this brother might not work exactly for you, but you don't shun the counsel. You take it and you apply it, because that could be the Lord saying, all right, hear what He's saying. And if you are sincerely doing that, you're going to meditate and you're going to get something out of that could work for you. You see? You read the scriptures, you hear these words, you apply it to the scriptures, you apply it to your life, and you fight. You fight up against this flesh. You fight up against these demons. Because if you are of the elect of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, you could do it. You will do it. You will rise above. You know? But you got to confront it. You got to be real with yourself, real with your environment, real with what's the fuck going on. You got to fucking rise above this shit. Whatever the fuck it is. The spiritual demonic attack. It could be a lazy demon. It could be a doubt demon. It could be a lust demon. It could be whatever type of demon. You know? A folly demon, too much folly. All right, so now I need to cut that folly off then. You know? Starve it out. Show the Lord. Show these demons. Show this flesh who's in charge. Because if your flesh and these demons in charge, then that doesn't look good for you. You know? Of course, we in a sinful flesh. You ain't no just man that's not gonna go off, of course. But don't yield. Don't be controlled by this shit. You know? More spirit, less flesh. More wins, less losses. We know we all go off, but if you're a basketball team, how many you want to be at the bottom of the league? Where they have 82 games? What you want to be 15 and 67? Or you want to be 67 and 15? You see? Nah. Be a winner. Win these battles day in and day out. Submit yourself to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Lift up your prayers. Lift up your thanks. Be grateful. Be content. Get your reading in. Read a chapter here. Read a chapter there. Read a verse here. Read a verse there. Share a verse with a brother or something. You know? Praise the Lord. You know, do better. You know, have more discipline. You know, moderation. Let your moderation be known to all men. Have more temperance. Pray about it and fight. Rebuke Satan. Rebuke these demons because you over them, really. You know, you are. And you're going to keep getting stronger and stronger. And the more you grow, you're going to see it more and more. You know, to the point where, man, the Lord lifting up a standard for you. Get spiritual power. You rejoicing, laughing at famine and destruction. Seeing your Yahweh Shai coming, you got confidence. Loving his appearing. You know what I'm saying? So, Lord willing, this is edifying to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakodash, and double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful elect. Kwame Asherallah, Shalom.